our hearts and minds do the best we can in your eyes. In your name we pray. Amen.
And if you'll join me in the pledge of allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We have a quorum, and Judy Hatchin is subbing for Wanda tonight because her grandson has a play and she's unable to be here. So, Madam Clerk, will you call roll?
Ronald,
Present.
O'Gary,
Here.
Smith,
Here.
okay.
Here.
Present.
Here.
Adam.
Here.
And Brown.
Here.
Alright, next up on our agenda is, one of the reasons we're here tonight is the town manager's position. Anybody want to give an update on that?
Well, what I know is that she's gone to rehab today
In Petersburg.
in Petersburg, yeah. And she's been doing pretty good, she's been. That's what I know.
Excuse me. You say so we're here to get an update on the town manager?
I didn't call the meeting.
Well, who called, if I may, who called the meeting?
Couple of council members,
Ma'am?
a couple of the council members. The thing with Pat is she is looking forward to coming back to work. We don't have any idea how long it'll be. Could be 2 to 3 months. She's going to have rehab, physical therapy, and we're not sure. But her goal is to come back to work. She's called. She's wanting to know how things are going. I think Judy's going to go up tomorrow to see her to take some papers to sign. And I think that's really good for her. She has a drive and a want and a need to come back, and she feels like it's important. She continues her job. We'll have to see how that goes. Her family's supporting her returning now. We don't know, that could change. It's going to be a long process for Pat to heal and move forward. So we
Can
said
you speak up?
keep her in our prayers. And you can't hear me? Can you hear me, Brandon?
Yes, ma'am. I can.
It's weak.
I can't
It's weak.
hear Miss
You can hear me? I'm sorry.
It's weak. I mean,
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. It's going to be a long, drawn-out thing for Pat's recovery, but she has all hopes of returning to work eventually. She does have the support of her family to return, but that's something could change. But she's got that drive, and that's good for recovery. In the meantime, we have asked and talked with Michael Allen to come in and assist Judy with different financial responsibilities that has to be done, quarterly reports, payroll, so forth. So, council is going to have to decide on what we want to do with that, but he has been kind enough to come in so far a couple of times and help out. We asked him to keep up with his time because we sure don't expect him to do it for free. So, we got to thank Michael for that.
May I ask a question?
Yes, ma'am.
I haven't been here, so I'm catching up via all everybody's lives. So bear with me, please. You just said that Judy was gonna take some papers to sign, right? So how are you gonna vote to put somebody else in temporarily for her while she's gone? Is that what this is on the?
But we're not gonna vote tonight, we're discussing it, this is just to inform the town what's going on with her. What we're planning to do, who we've talked to is Michael. We have to come up with a pay and his hours and what he is willing or can give us.
So without a vote, you've actually, and no, nothing against the gentleman. So without a vote, you have, whoever has allowed somebody that's not an employee of this town to come into this office and access people's personal financial stuff
No.
with their social security. You just sat here and say it.
Ma'am, I'm just telling you.
You just said, and you just sat here and said that he's been in several times to assist with financial stuff. So you're telling me
To write checks.
that he, how is he writing checks? I'm confused.
Well,
If she,
But that's Judy's job.
but how, I mean, I have a right to know this.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
I
ma'am.
have a right to know
Yes,
this, whether
ma'am.
anybody gives two rabbits on the shakes, but I have a right to know this, and I'm asking, because I do hear a lot on these lives that you're speaking for the residents of Jarratt. I don't know which ones you're speaking for, but ain't nobody here speaking for me but me. Let's make that clear. So, not being aggressive, I'm asking a question because it's a legitimate question, and it's a question that I deserve an answer to, because legally you just said that he was writing somebody. How he writing a check that he's not on the bank account to write a check for? He's not a town
Well, he's
employee.
not gonna sign.
Not talking to you, Miss Becky.
Well, I'm telling
Not
you,
talking to you.
Well, I'm
Miss
talking to
Brown.
you, and we.
Miss Brown.
We
Okay.
let
Miss Brown.
Pat Ward come in
Miss
here.
Brown. Miss Brown, I was addressing what you were saying. So that's why I'm asking the questions, because if I don't understand something, I'm supposed to ask. It's my right as a resident of this town to ask. So how can that legally happen? Somebody tell me, because evidently she's not gonna respond. So can anybody else tell me how that's legal?
it is, what happened is Judy gathered the information, the time, the hourly rate. Mr. Allen pulled her up on the computer and printed the checks for her. He did not sign anything. He did not calculate their times. He just pulled it up on the computer and did the checks for her.
But he's still seeing stuff he should not be seeing if he's not
That's
voted
people's
in to
personal
be doing it.
information. That's people's
That's
private,
public.
sensitive information. That's not public information. It's not, Ms.
Excuse me, you can come to any town council meeting now and get a copy of the bank statement, and you can read exactly anybody that's in.
If
You
you
need
give
to
it,
have to be able to do that, though, honestly.
If they're giving out, and I'm gonna address this way because I'm not to address a particular individual, I was told that before. If I can get a bank statement, evidently, I'm praying that y'all don't have nobody's social security numbers on the bank statement. So a bank statement and people's social security numbers are completely different. So that's why I'm asking. So all the huff, the puff, the aggressiveness, I'm not here to do that. I just want some answers.
He's gonna address it.
Okay.
The only thing I did was come in and show them how to print a check using Excel. I didn't see anybody's personal information. I just merely showed them how to make the computer print a check that lined up with the checks they already had.
So they didn't know how to access it. So
That's correct.
thank you.
I didn't sign checks, didn't look at people's stuff, just showed them how to print them.
Thank you. That's I was asking.
I think that's
I
what
couldn't
he
get an
said.
answer, so I thank you and I appreciate you for giving me what's the answer that I was asking.
Thank you, Michael.
Can I say something? I think maybe that this should be something that should be really brought out to the town so everybody can speak on it. Because I personally don't know if it should be somebody that's well known. I mean, in the past, there's been issues saying that too many people know each other, best friends, best buddies, kin. I don't know. I feel like more people should be informed in different ways so that they can have an opinion and a say-so on it also.
You're welcome to come to the meeting.
Yeah.
Anybody else? Comments?
So, you've done the checks and you know how to do it.
Did y'all hear that?
No, ma'am, I didn't.
She actually said she knows to print the checks out now after the show.
So basically what you're saying is until further notice, she can do that on her own. Is that what you're saying, without the assistance? Is that why you were
Yes,
asking?
that's the reason I asked. Judy says that she has done it, she can do it, she knows how.
Okay, thank you. Respectfully, I have nothing to lose in the town of Jarratt, so I'm gonna ask the hard questions. I don't have no friends in here. If it's something I wanna know, I'm gonna ask. Don't care who like it, who don't like it. I'm gonna ask if it's something I don't know. So, I don't have nothing to lose. Let's put it that way, cause evidently, the huffing and the puffing I haven't done respectfully because I don't have reason to disrespect anybody. But I'm not gonna be huffed and puffed anymore.
So pretty much this meeting is to inform people that you're gonna be looking for a fill-in temporary town manager to fill in till Pat comes back.
Yes,
correct?
and, from what I understand, the way it's written up, she can actually, excuse me, appoint someone to fill in for her. And she has been made aware that Mr. Allen has been called to help Judy with the prison.
Can we get a copy of the documentation stating that
Yes,
it's written
you
up
may.
that way?
Yes,
Thank
you
you.
may.
And another question, I do have this, like I said, I haven't been here. I don't care nothing about the heads that up in there. The town lawyer or the council's lawyer, whoever, who's paying for that?
The town
Is it the town's lawyer or is it the council's
is
lawyer?
representing the council.
Okay, that's my, okay, that analyze the question then. If he's representing the council, why is the town paying for it? Because he's representing evidently individuals. He's not representing me. Please don't. I'm as nice as possible. I'm not her.
Not making sense.
No, you're not making sense because why is you in my business? I'm talking nicely to Miss Brown. Find somebody else because you might want to do your research because I'm not her. Because I'm not going to back down from you. So find somebody else because I'm not her. Now, Miss Brown, the only thing I was asking was, if he's representing the council, why is it that the town is paying for it?
Because the council is employees, we were elected officials, and it is written that if the council has asked for legal counsel, then town pays for it.
So you have two lawyers now?
We also voted on
No,
it.
we do not. We
So
voted-
is it a
council voted-
document that states that that was done and it was voted on? It was voted on in the XYZ and he's stating that he's representing the town and not the council?
It represents the council
Okay, so
and
that's,
the town. But we do not have two attorneys, no, we do not.
so I mean, I'm just asking because the last time I remember someone stated that the town did not have an attorney. So if it was stated that the town did not have an attorney, isn't it some kind of retainer fee that you're paying, plus the hourly rate, plus whatever, and it should be some kind type of documentation that you should have legally saying that this man is representing?
We
Is
have,
there-
we
is there
have all
some-
that in ordinance.
Okay, can I
Yes, you
get,
may.
yeah, thank you.
Yes, ma'am, you sure can.
Do we have a contract with Mr. Flint?
It's case by case.
Because I have not seen it.
It's case by
Same
case.
thing we did
Same
with
thing
Will.
with Will.
But he's only for the council, not the town.
Well, he can write ordinances or resolutions or whatever that we need.
Per the council or per the town?
But it's one of.
If it's clear enough, I think we should give him just we'll reach out to him and then hear him write a statement. That's the easiest way to do it.
Thank you, because I just want to be clear on who is being represented. And for how much?
$300 an hour.
It's the easiest way. Just let him.
But that's what he said tonight, that he was voting in.
It is.
$300 an hour. And he was here one night for 3 days on hours straight.
industry, I think we can afford a good attorney.
Ruth, would you like to share with the council and the residents what Mr. Flynn told you?
I would. Cause I called him one day, I was concerned about something. In fact, I was mad, and not mad, I was hurt, I was bitter, and mad, like we'll say. I talked to him for an hour. And he one day told me that he was not the town Jarratt lawyer, he was just for the council.
That's right.
So therefore, the town of Jarratt does not pay him. The council pays him.
Okay, now correct me if I'm wrong, because everybody look. So if that's the case, and this is what the gentleman has spoke to whoever, how is it that, I'm getting at it, it's conflicting, you know what I'm saying, it's conflicting information right here. So if it's only for the council, why is the town paying? Somebody else talk to me, because I don't want Ms. Brown to think I'm attacking her. That would be wrong for me to keep addressing my questions.
Can I answer that question for being on board?
Personally, Ms. Ann, I was told, personally, it has nothing to do with you. I was told that if I have a question, I have to address them, to not address anybody else out here. So respectfully, it has nothing to do with you, but I have to do what I was instructed
That's fine. I just have experience.
understand. But if this is my counsel, I feel as though they should be able to tell me what it is that I need to know.
Yes, Mr. Flynn was recommended from VML, correct? He is a Virginia Municipal League. He specializes in municipal law. How our lawyers do, it's hard to get answers. It would take us, a month, 2 months to get answers back from the lawyers that we were sending questions to, this, that, and the third. So it provided an additional oversight, having a lawyer actually here for our meetings, because that's the only lawyer I've ever seen at one of these meetings, correct? Has any other lawyer been here? I'm just speaking for when I've been on council.
No,
Very
it
short time.
has not,
Been able.
but previous, Neely Owen used to attend.
Okay.
When Neely was the county
How
attorney.
long ago was
That
that?
has been a very long time
Okay.
ago.
Well, we were.
But since then, council has chosen for them not to be here because they did not want to pay them to sit here during the meeting.
Okay, but we had a lot of pertinent questions that needed to be answered, and it's so much easier to have a lawyer sitting right here to be able to answer our questions than having to type up an email. That pushes us a month out. If you don't get back to us within a certain time frame, that pushes out another month. So it's helping us provide additional oversight to what we needed to know.
Okay, so correct me if I'm wrong, Brandon.
Yes, ma'am.
So one of the young ladies, the ladies down there said it's on a case-by-case basis. So when you case-by-case basis, don't you pay a retainer fee and an hourly rate? I'm asking
No,
because I don't need to
as far
know.
as my knowledge, he's just $300 is what we pay him.
An hour?
An hour, yes, ma'am. And that may be on-site, off-site, I'm not sure. He was here when he addressed the tail, and we voted to let him help us
Help the
understand.
council?
Help the council, yes, the council. But in return, the council.
No, sir, you pay,
serves
I
the
understand what you're
town
saying, I understand what you're saying.
Yes, ma'am.
But I've heard several times, even when she's done wrong, because she's done wrong, let me clear that up. But I've heard that when it was mentioned about certain things, it was, they don't represent me. Okay, so the same applies. If it's the council's lawyer, respectfully, if it was her, if she got it, if Ms. Ruth got it, anybody that got it,
Yes.
y'all, the council got the lawyer. The council should pay for it. Why are you taking the town's tax money to pay for a lawyer? Did you put it before everybody else, or you just put it before the people in here?
No, we put
No, well, y'all only vote, so we actually don't have a vote.
No, we had our citizens' comments and everything, because Mr. Flynn stood up here and answered all the citizens' comments.
But we don't have a vote, right? Am I right? When something needs to be voted on, does we as the residents have a vote?
We take y'all's opinions into consideration because the council works for the citizens.
I understand, but this, yes, do we have a vote when y'all have to vote?
No, not by municipal law. You do not.
I'm just,
Yes, that's your answer. If you're
That's-
elected-
oh, I knew the answer,
If
but
you're
I just
elected
wanted,
to this role,
we was
yes.
having a conversation, we was having dialect,
Yes.
and I wanted a direct answer.
We need to stick to the agenda.
So, are there any
Who are
other?
you to say we have to stick to an agenda? I'm in a town meeting that was called. If I have questions for my council, then respectfully, you shouldn't tell nobody we gotta stick to an agenda. That's rude. I haven't been rude to you. I just wanna know, because if I don't know, I have to ask.
Understand. Are there any other questions or comments about the town manager's position? All right, moving right along.
No, Mr. Michael, he answered it, and I left that part alone.
Very good. Maintenance position.
The maintenance position, oh, let me speak up, so can you hear me?
No.
It's my, yes.
Where are we?
We have sent out some, applications. We've had one to come in and fill out an application. He has experience in, maintenance and trash pickup. The council is gonna have to look at his application and talk with him. We have another young man that has shown interest in the position, and this is for, Timmy's position.
Would this not be a prime time to look at other considerations for waste
Yes,
removal?
yeah, we're going to do that. We've made calls, and asked for quotes for other routes to go for trash pickup. However, we still need town maintenance men.
Or do we need two?
Yes, we do. We do. We have a lot of grass to cut. We have a lot of buildings to maintain, things to do. Yes, we need to. If one gets sick, we're still out. We do need two men, and we do have,
Well, then
In
it
the
would be
process of
foolish
it-
to pay two men and a trash service too.
well,
That's what I was getting ready to ask. Would that be feasible if you source out the trash, but you pay somebody to do something else? You're still spending the town's money to pay employees. That's, cause or is it, if you decide to source out the trash pickup, do we still have to pay even if we don't want to have them pick up our trash and wanna dispose of it of ourselves?
if you live in the town, no matter which way it goes, your trash will be picked up for you. And we haven't even gotten any quotes. This is down the road. I mean,
But if
we've
we're gonna
called
have
a
two
couple of
people, I think that's a
municipalities
big point.
that have trash management, and we're waiting to get names, phone numbers, and quotes. But that is not anything that's gonna happen anytime soon. And as far as having two men, you got vacation time, you got sick time, you got people who have sick families. You need someone here. We got a lot of grass to cut, so yes, we do need two men.
Yes, ma'am.
Did y'all explain to the two that you've talked to that
We've
you're
not
looking to contract all of this stuff out, that they might not have a job down the road?
Whether you contract the trash or not, there's still other things in this town that need to be done. There's a lot of grass cutting, there's
I know that
maintenance for the buildings, these two guys, Donald and Timothy, don't pick up trash.
But what I'm saying, y'all are contracting that, talking about contracting that, the grass and the trash.
Explore
No.
an option.
No,
You were talking about it the last meeting.
No,
Yes, you were.
Explore an
Yes, you
option.
were. It's on
It's on video.
Yes, it is.
It's on
Chipper
video.
Chipper brought it.
Yeah,
on
The
on
the
residents
live.
brought it
That
up.
they talked about it.
It was on the live.
No.
That's the only reason why I know, because it was on the
Residents
live.
brought it up.
Yeah.
We're doing our due diligence, we are researching it, exploring it. It may not be an option.
Well, it may
It
not.
may cost more, I can't see it being feasible myself, because the little research I've done, which we haven't talked to any companies,
No.
but they're normally $40 a month per can. 600 cans, that's what, $24,000 a month. That's not feasible for the town of Jarratt.
And the only reason we're looking
They
into
got
it is
them like
because
to be
several residents
But
asked
looking
us
into
to.
it.
But our residents brought it up, so.
The
we have to
residents
do
were the
it.
ones who brought it up.
And as far as
And
grass
he got
cutting,
plenty of money, let him pay for it.
I think one or two residents even mentioned that. Council has not discussed, not one
Never
time,
talked about it.
contracting grass. And we really have just started looking into, because it was mentioned, it has been asked, just like Ms. Harrison asked again. We need to check into it to see which way the town, excuse me, comes out better. The way it looks right now, like Brandon says, it's very costly
Yes.
to have waste management come in. Residents have to purchase their cans. And then, we have to pay so much a can, and it's only picked up one time a week.
See, this breaking it up that night scared that poor guy that he was gonna lose his job down the road.
Well,
Tread lightly.
sorry.
That's all I'm gonna say.
Would we
Tread
have to
lightly.
have
That
a public
person-
hearing
Yes.
if we did
Yes.
change?
Yes.
So the public would be
Yes.
invited to
Yes.
voice their opinion?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Well, all thing we were looking into is
Right.
because it's been mentioned numerous times to get some figures, some amounts, what it entails, and we would definitely have to have a public hearing, and citizens would certainly have an input. Same thing with the grass cutting, we haven't even gone down that way.
Brenda, I may be wrong, but, when the town was picking up the trash for Stony Creek several years ago, it was $18,000 a year they paid the town of Jarratt. I don't know where you come with that big figure you're coming up with, but anyway, it may be that today, I don't know, but anyway, I understand Stony Creek got a lower rate than what they were paying the town to pick it up.
We had reached out to the company, I got that rate, I had taken what people already need trash cans, they do $40 a month, times that by 600. That's what I was doing about it. It was rough figures, we haven't contacted the company, I think Ms. Brown sent an email out to Stony Creek just to see, but what company they use, I don't even know if it's feasible.
It's gonna take a lot of research, I mean, you gotta look at the figures, what it's costing the
Right.
town now, and take a look at it.
And the
So
last
it
thing we
might
wanna
not be
do is-
feasible.
Sign a contract, make it so extreme that it raises taxes, or we don't want, we're not gonna do that. We will not do that.
You can't afford to do that.
No, we will not do that, yes. That's why we wanna make sure everything, there's a lot of research and
The night that it was mentioned, council didn't even mention it, came from citizens, residents.
Yeah, that's true, a citizen said
One
that,
person discussed
y'all
it.
did not
Yep.
discuss
One
it.
person said it, and, you know, if it upset the employees, I'm sorry, but council had nothing to do with that.
Some of the council members talked to him about it from up here.
They brought it up.
They brought it
I
up.
don't care who brought it
Well,
up.
it matters who brought it up.
Well, y'all,
we have to do our due diligence. If they ask the question, we gotta do our research. We're just doing our research.
but they're making it sound like the town council didn't say nothing that night, but they did.
Alright, so we have two possible applicants.
We have one person who's actually come in and filled an application. We have not talked to him, we've not interviewed, we just looked over his application. I was down here this morning, I looked it over. Everybody has to do that. No decisions have been made, let me make that clear. We have another young man who has shown interest, who will probably come in and fill out an application. However, we would like for the individual to be able to get a CDL, and this young man who has shown interest is not old enough to get that as of yet,
How old is he?
19. And I think you have to be 21 to get a
He's
CDL.
old enough, Ann, because Chandler just got his CDL learners and he's taking the class in
Oh,
May.
it's changed. So at 19 you can get one.
He got his at 18.
18? Okay. Well, that's good then.
He works at VDOT, correct?
He does.
Yeah, a little
I
different.
think you
rules.
gotta check your insurance policy.
Yeah, a little
It's your
different rules with
insurance
VDOT.
is that will
Okay,
cover
okay.
some
It
people.
could be 21 and a half.
Well, when I called,
Okay.
Yeah.
when I called
The state makes it
DMV, they said 21.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying, yeah. Some of your insurances don't cover.
maybe
drivers,
state,
even if they got the CDL, they get all the insurance policies.
and maybe VDOT.
Right.
Okay, so I didn't realize that would be any.
VDOT may have a
Yeah.
different, outlook on it, but I did call DMV and they said 21. That could change,
Yeah.
depending on who needs it, I suppose.
Okay, and isn't Timothy's last day Wednesday?
Thursday.
I think she said,
Thursday.
well, first of all, he said April the 1st, but I think he changed it, didn't he?
So who's gonna pick trash up on Friday?
Well, Donald said he was gonna get someone to help him. And I guess, speaking of Donald, he turned his notice in today. He is retiring. Donald is retiring. So, we're gonna be looking for a supervisor as well as a helper. Then if you want to volunteer, we'd be happy to help you with that.
And when is his notice in?
He turned it in today. Judy, when's his last day?
April the, 8th.
April 8th?
2 weeks.
Okay. I guess both of them got scared off, I don't know. I'm sorry that they feel that way, but, you know, you can't blame someone for retiring. Donald's at the age, we've been expecting that for years. And Timothy says he has a better job. You cannot blame anybody for bettering themselves.
All right, any other discussion on the maintenance position?
I got a question, but I don't know what it is.
Okay,
With Pat being in the hospital, who's supposed to be making all of these phone calls to all of these people that sending emails and whatever through the air?
that'll actually fall on Judy.
So now, and this is not, so we don't have anybody running the town. Is that,
Actually, we have a president of council.
Mr. Smith, are you gonna be able to be here
Who you talking to?
Mr. Smith, during business hours to conduct certain business that pertains?
Yeah, Wednesdays, sign checks, the clerk. I'll be able to handle most of the duties that, if she handles the duties that the clerk handled, then it's feasible.
Just asking.
And can I make a comment about trash pickup? It might be worth considering if we're gonna have nobody to pick up trash next Friday, is that right? Maybe contacting the temp agency, because it would probably be just cheaper than the salaries of those two employees, at least temporarily. So,
Yeah, we had talked about going to the tent, there's one in Emporia.
yeah, and they could bring on board, it's a little bit expensive to use the temp agency, but it would allow you to fill that position, and it would probably come in cheaper than benefits.
We just
And
have to
everything
get
that we're
somebody
offering.
with it. Is it a Class B, Brandon? Is it a Class B?
Should be.
Class B CDL.
Just asking a question. What's the temp agency? Everybody through the Department of Social Services?
No, they're private organizations. The one in Emporia is Pro Temp Services. I think it's, yeah, they're private organizations. I'm just familiar with one.
Okay.
But you pay basically, you tell them what you're recruiting, they'll staff it pretty quickly, staff the position, but they have a surcharge. So it might be you pay the employee $15 an hour, but you're paying the company $19 because you're paying the $4 surcharge. But if you do the math right now in the pinch you're in, it might be cheaper than the salary of the, or it might come out even.
I took a job description to them.
Okay.
But, not actually gone in because we didn't know about Dawn until this
Okay.
afternoon.
That would just be a quick bill if we need trash picked up.
He's just saying the lighting on that is excellent, wonderful.
Good.
The man you got to do the repairs in here he did a good job.
Thank you. It's a lot better up here.
Oh, yeah.
And Judy's office is just unbelievably better.
Oh, it's not Jay's.
Alright, any other discussion on maintenance? Alright, then we are adjourned. Thank y'all for your attention.
Uh-huh.
Hit finish.